Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm participating in a crafty school themed hop that Sara Scraps put together. So make sure you go over to her channel and check it out as well. There are a whole bunch of us playing along, and actually there are so many of us playing along that we are spreading this over the next 4 days. I have these 3 photos of my kids when they were younger doing a class exercise. It was a field trip, really, more or less. And since we homeschooled, this is what our school looked like quite often. We'd get together with a very select group of friends, and we would go and do field trips together. So these kids all know each other pretty well. This is my daughter, and this is my son, and this is my nephew. Actually, that's my daughter, my nephew, and my son. And I don't know where my other nephew and my other niece, or my niece were, but I don't have pictures of them from this particular field trip. But I wanted to go ahead and get these documented. And this is what school looked like a lot of the time for us. We'd be out and about. We'd be studying things at different locations. This was actually at a science, I don't know if it's considered a science center or whatever, but he's got a snake that's crawling across him. And then they did several other activities. I do have more photos from that same event. They're climbing on this extra large DNA strand. And then they're out in front of the fountains. And I have a few other ones that were taken inside the facility. And those, I'm going to scrapbook those separately. But these 3 I wanted to get on my layout. And I want to get those done. So I'm starting out with these papers from Amy Tangerine's Picnic in the Park. I know I want to use this orange. There's a lot of orange in the photo. This little guy is wearing orange. His shirt has some orange in it. So I know I want to use that. I know I want to use this teal color. It kind of goes with this thing. A slightly different shade, but it'll work. And then I might use a little bit of this. I'm not really sure. I do like this side, but those patterns are very similar in scale, so I don't know if I'm going to put them together. I do also have the option of using these rainbows on the back side, so we'll see how that goes. And then I'm planning to use this paper. I might use the orange, but since I've got orange in the other paper, I'm going to fussy cut all of these flowers out and try and use those. So here are all of my fussy cut flowers out of that paper. I just sat in front of the TV last night with my husband watching TV and cut. So I have a whole bunch of those. There are a couple of those in the ephemera pack, but there's really like only 3. 1, 2, 3. There's a little bouquet here as well, but yeah, there's only really 3 clusters, and I knew I was going to want more because I know I have more than just this layout for this particular field trip to do, and so I might want them on the other layouts as well. So when I purchased this paper, I purchased an extra sheet of this just to cut apart. So if you are looking to find a cheap way to create embellishments, look at your papers, see what you can cut apart, and buy an extra sheet of it. And I think I actually even got this at Joann's on sale for like 20 cents a sheet or 25 cents a sheet. So for 25 cents, that's an awful lot of embellishments. I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward, and we'll get to creating. So just a little bit more about this hop. This is something that Sara Scraps is hosting, and there are a bunch of people, like I said, playing along. We had so many people that were interested in playing along that it is spread from the 10th to the 13th with multiple people on each day. So make sure you head back over and check out everyone else who's playing along. And I will have links for the people, at least for the people on my day, which is the first day, the 10th, down below. So you can go and check them out. I'm not sure if I will have the links for everybody the other days, but it is a possibility. I'm not really sure of that as of right now while I'm voicing this video. So back to the layout. I went ahead and decided I wanted to rip some papers, so I just tore them with the white showing. I wanted to have a little bit more of an organic feel to the papers, and so by tearing them, it gives it a little bit of a softer edge than the hard edge of cutting them. And I don't tear my papers super frequently, but it's something that is making a comeback. So I'm seeing it more and more in scrapbooking, more distressing and more tearing of things, whereas we used to do this a lot back in the day, and then we kind of got away from it a little bit, and now we're back to it again. And I do like how it looks, and I decided to go ahead and use the rainbow paper. I like all the colors in it, and it brings in all of the other colors that are in those fussy cut florals. So I'm really happy with the way that turned out. And then I'm just going through the ephemera pack and I'm looking for some journaling spots and then maybe some circular elements to bring in so that everything is not so square. I do like this little piece that says, I believe it says life is good. Yeah, life is good. And I think I'm going to put that up in that corner with my title. And then at this point I decide I'm going to create a title on my silhouette. And so I created this one that says, "This is how we do school." Just because this year I think everybody's doing different things for school, and I wanted to kind of like, even though I don't have kids that are school age this year, I wanted to highlight that school looks different for people all over the place, not just this year, but in many years. And for us, this is how we did school a lot of the time. Yeah, we did have classes at home, and they had workbooks that they worked in as well, but a lot of our school was out and about, and that is what kept it fun and interesting for us. And we just wanted to foster a love of learning for the kids, so we made sure to have a lot of outings and combine it with uh, a lot of other kids their age, so that they would have friends and lots of social activities to do. And in fact, they were so social. Um, it was they were probably more social than some kids that are in private school, because we did so many things between 4-H, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, and our homeschool group. We were busy all the time, and we would oftentimes run from a Girl Scout meeting to a 4-H event, and then the next day we'd have a Boy Scout event and another 4-H event. So yeah, lots of things. But they were all fun things and all things that the kids wanted to do. It wasn't anything that they were forced to do. So yeah. So I'm pulling in this little piece that says "Big Day." This was kind of one of the bigger field trips for us because it was with a larger group. And this place is probably about an hour away from us. So it's not something that is like right in our little close-knit community. So we combined it with a lunch outing and a couple other things. So that's why I decided to pull that piece in. And then I wanted to tell you a little bit about the cut file. The cut file is going to be available over at the Redefined Creative Digital Shop, and it's free. So I made it on the silhouette, and I just am offering it through Christina's website for free. So go over and take a look if you're interested in it. You can go ahead and get it there. It also comes with the pieces for the inside of the letters. It doesn't, if you want to put the inside of the O in, the little white ring, you'll have to fussy cut the part that goes in the center of that out. But just as it is here on my page, you can cut all of those pieces, including the background pieces. So you can go check that out. Again, that's the Redefined Creative Digital Shop, and I'll put a link to Christina's website down below, and she's kind enough to offer that on her site for us. And here I'm just adding these fussy cut florals. I'm not going to add a whole bunch more than what you see here. I will add some enamel dots, and I'm going to use some matte black enamel dots, and it's the first time I've actually used the matte ones. I really, really like how they look, and they kind of have like a velvety look to them. They don't feel like they're velvety, but they look like they're velvety. I put this little calendar piece in, and I'm going to put little tile stickers that have May written on them, and then I'm circling the 21st, which is the day that we did them, and I'm bringing in these little black cameras to kind of create a little bit of a grounding area. I find that when you have a lot of bright colors, if you add a little bit of dark to it, it kind of tones everything down and grounds the layout a little bit, almost like a landing spot, although it's not real. These are not really landing spots because they're not the largest piece in the cluster. So I'm going to fussy cut those little black cameras out, and I don't know what I'm doing there. I'm kind of hemming and hawing about it, it looks like. I think I thought about using a purple one as well, but I'm going to end up just using the black. And then my journaling is going to go on that little notebook edge piece, And it says, an end of the year field trip with our homeschool group friends. I believe this is at Chabot Space and Science Center. These kids always have fun while learning together. And then it has a list of the names of the kids. And these photos are from 2007. And yes, I'm not going to say behind, because I go back and forth between scrapbooking current events and scrapbooking older events, but I do have a lot of scrapbooking to do between 2007 and current. But you know, I don't mind. I do what is most interesting to me at the time, or what fits the type of layout that I want to work on, or the hop that I'm participating in this case. And these photos I had printed out. I have all of the photos that I wanted to scrapbook from 2007 printed out, and they're in a photo box sorted by event, and so I can kind of go back to that easily, and then go to my camera roll on my phone for the current stuff, and I can kind of pick and choose from the two and work on what inspires me. And that's my biggest suggestion when you're working on scrapbooking. Work on what inspires you. You're going to enjoy it a whole lot more. It does make putting the layouts a little bit putting those layouts into albums a little bit more interesting. If you follow me on Facebook, you might know that I did put away 300 layouts last weekend, and it was a lot of work because they don't all go, you know, in one album. I might have stuff for a Girl Scout album, stuff for a Boy Scout album, stuff for my grandson album, and then other stuff that is filed chronologically, like this particular layout. But it is always more interesting to me if I can go back and forth between things, because I get bored working on the same project all the time. So I did add some stitching all the way around the layout in black, and then I stitched in each of the journaling, not the journaling areas, the the embellishment areas. I put a little bit of black stitching in a zigzag on some of those areas, just to draw in a little bit more interest and a little more texture. And I really like the way that that came out. The close-ups are coming up in just a few moments, so don't forget to check out the other ladies that are playing along. And I really hope you've enjoyed this layout, and check back for the next couple of days and see what everyone else is creating over the next few days. So again, the hop is from the 10th to the 13th, and I'm going to say there's probably about 10 people on each day, maybe a little bit more. So here come the close-ups. Thanks again for watching and spending time with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.